Welcome back, everybody, to Pubstool Sports Podcast. Today, our podcast is on the 2017 NBA Finals. We're going to do a little preview on the reigning champs, Cleveland Cavaliers, versus the Golden State Warriors. So, Ryan, what do you think about this three straight Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State matchup?
So basically, it's the third straight matchup of Golden State and Cleveland. Golden State and Cleveland. The series is split 1-1. Obviously, Golden State won 2015 NBA Finals 4-2, and Cleveland came back last year from a 3-1 deficit, winning Game 7 in Oakland or Golden State. I think this one will be probably the best one of all three. It definitely will go to 7 games. I'll say who I think will win later on, but it should be interesting.
Definitely. So, going back to this matchup previously, who do you think are some stars that are really going to stand out this NBA Finals?
I think the guy that I think will stand out the most will be Kyrie Irving. Last year, he's one of the main reasons why they won. Game 7 hit that incredible shot over Stephen Curry. And you could see how big of an absence he had after going down in Game 1 of 2015. Kyrie Irving's presence is very big because he's kind of like the main scorer for Cleveland. Yes, LeBron is the better overall player, but Kyrie, I think, is kind of that spark plug that they need to get going on offense. I think he's overlooked in the series because you guys got guys like Durant, LeBron, Curry, but then there's Kyrie Irving, but I think he will have the biggest impact out of anyone.
All right, so you said Kyrie Irving for the Cavaliers. Who do you think is going to stand out for the Golden State Warriors?
I think it's going to be a tie between Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. I say Durant because Durant's the best player on Golden State, and I think he's the best scorer on that team, and best overall player on there. He can shoot, he can drive, he can defend pretty well. His defense is overlooked, but he can defend. And then Draymond, the reason why I say Draymond Green is because he just can do a bit of everything. He can score, he can play defense really well. He's potential. He's a potential winner. He could win the Defensive Player this year. He's one of the finalists along with Rudy Gobert and Kawhi Leonard. But Draymond Green earlier this season had the first triple-double without having points as a double-digit. He had 10-plus steals, 10-plus rebounds, and 10-plus assists. So that means Draymond can rebound, he can pass the ball, he can hold it down on defense, and he can also score. So I think he's just the guy that's going to be he's like the workhorse for Golden State, and he's like hustle. He's their hustle player for them.
All right, so you didn't really mention Steph Curry that much throughout this. How do you think he'll pan out in this 2017 NBA Finals?
I'm not the biggest Stephen Curry fan. I know you know that, but yes, granted, Curry is a good shooter. He's a great dribbler. Great shooter, one of the greatest of all time. But I don't see him as that MVP caliber player. The first MVP he won, it was okay. Last year, yes, I definitely agree he should win MVP. He single-handedly led the Golden State Warriors to a 73-9 record, even though they had an outstanding bench and two other stars to support his. But now, since Durant's there, I don't see Curry as their top player. His 2015 MVP, there wasn't that much competition for the MVP that year. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think yes, granted he can shoot, but I don't see him as a really good defensive player or a very good, he can't really drive and he's not really the greatest defender. So, Curry, yes, he's one of the very good players in the NBA. He's a superstar, but I don't see him the best player in this finals matchup.
Absolutely. So let's take it to Game 1. What are your predictions, score, outcome?
I think Golden State will win Game 1. Final score 104-98. It'll be close because if you see, there's most Golden State games. If they're ever down, they find a way to come back because they're right now Golden State, their last 28 games, they're 27-1. They look unbeatable right now. I believe San Antonio would have won. I believe they're San Antonio Golden State that series. I believe that series would have went to 6 games, and Golden State would have took it in 6. But since Kawhi Leonard went down with an unfortunate injury, Golden State, game 1, I think they'll pull away. Like I said earlier, their games, when they start out, they often tend to start out slow, and they'll fall into a bit of a deficit coming into the start of the second quarter, and then they'll flip a switch like that, and then they'll take off, and there's just no stopping them. Once they get going, I feel like once the second quarter, when they play their best in the second quarter, I feel like right before halftime they get going, and then they come out and they just keep playing it. But otherwise, Golden State, I think Cleveland will have a lead for the majority of the game until, I would say, third, fourth quarter, Golden State turns it around. But their offense, they're offensively and defensively one of the best teams in the NBA, arguably maybe the best. But I think Golden State will win game 1 over Cleveland, 104-98. Golden State will pull away at the end. I say Durant drops 30 and LeBron gets a triple-double, but it's not enough.
You mentioned that the Warriors tend to start out very slowly.
Yes.
Do you think that that'll affect them playing the Cavaliers, knowing how the Cavaliers respond and that?
It depends, because normally they start out slow. It's normally on and off. If they fall into a deficit early, normally they can bounce back. But I believe since there's no one out there that's going to stop playoff LeBron. LeBron James, best player in the league right now. Not regular season, best all-around player. He can do it all. Now LeBron, he's such a good shooter now. If you look at him compared to his past couple years versus now, I think LeBron has been shooting very well in the NBA in the playoffs this year. He's had a couple jab steps and pull-ups over some of the guys in Celtics. He's been shooting much better than he normally does. Kyrie Irving playing some of the best basketball he's ever played in his career. Kevin Love has been playing a lot better because I remember last year's NBA Finals, he did not play the greatest. But yeah, I think Cleveland can capitalize on that, and I think they could come out winning the series. So my series prediction, I believe Cleveland will win in 7 games over Golden State, just like last year, and I think LeBron will be the Finals MVP.
All right, you heard it here. Pubstool Sports